All right, my man. State your name. Let them know you on Real Talk with Nick.
Yo, it's your boy L, man. How y'all doing, man? Glad to be back on the podcast, man. Real Talk with Nick.
Talk to me, man. Now, I know you're not a Knicks fan, but you follow the Knicks.
Right.
You asked me, you got 1 foot in, 1 foot out as a Knicks fan because you're very knowledgeable when it comes to these Knicks.
Right.
Let's get to it, man. How did you feel about the draft concerning the Knicks? Was it a hit or miss?
I think the draft was a big miss.
Explain, man.
Man, it's like
We gave up the 11th pick.
they gave up the 11th pick. I actually heard that this kid,
Osmond Dane.
Dane, another French kid that they drafted once again. I actually heard that this guy was actually pretty good. He was one of the top international prospects. So I actually was kind of disappointed that they didn't keep him. Just, and the Thunders have a way of evaluating talent, so they traded in and grabbed him up.
Yeah, so the Knicks traded Kemba Walker as well for 3 picks. I think Kemba's going to Detroit.
Yeah, Detroit, the Pistons.
How you feel about Kemba going to Detroit? And before you answer that, man, going back to this point guard, when we speak of Osmond Dane, if the Knicks would have inquired him, right?
Right.
How do you think that would have helped plays on the Knicks when we speak of R.J. Barrett?
I actually think his rookie season he would have came in slightly better than Emmanuel Quickly is now, which would have made him the best point guard on the Knicks roster by default right now. Because I was looking into an article the other day that said that Derrick Rose is he's receiving interest from
Yeah,
the
Milwaukee Bucks.
Bucks. Yeah, yeah, man, they missed on the point guard. That's how I felt about it.
That's how you feel about it? Now, what do you say to fans out there that say, we went through that when we speak of European players. Look what Frank Ntilikina done for us.
Right.
Very close to nothing. Do you think this is a far cry from Frank Ntilikina?
A far cry.
When we speak of Osmond Dane?
I think he is. As far as aggressiveness, as far as offensive game. Frank Ntilikina was a great defensive player. That's the thing about Frank. I did like Frank to a certain extent because his defense would. If you watch him, his defense will always keep you in the game. He wasn't a big shot maker, and he was inconsistent. He had a very inconsistent jumper, but his defense that's the type of guy that you like to have on your team.
Okay. All right. Now, what does it mean for Emmanuel Quickly? Do you think it's a slap in the face?
To draft a guy like Dane?
Not so much draft, but this big talk. When we speak of Jalen Brunson, do you think it's a slap in the face for Emmanuel Quickly, who spent a year or two being mentored under Derrick Rose,
Okay.
to not have him get the green light to start?
But this is the thing. I honestly think if the Knicks have a chance to go grab that guy Jalen Brunson,
Do you think it'll be a good look?
it will be a great look. It's I say give him this a 4-year $100 million.
Yeah.
I give him a 5-year $120 million. Keep him. Get
You
him.
give him 5 years, so you saying $100 million, he deserves more. That's what you're saying. You say Brunson that good to y'all, and you give him $120 million in 5 years.
Yeah, man. We need this guy, man. Give him the money. This guy, he proved that he can go toe-to-toe with the elite point guards in the game, or shooting guards, really. He was the second scorer behind Luka Doncic. And you look at that first round against Utah, people got to really evaluate this man's game. The first round against Utah, Dallas didn't have Luka for I think it was like the first 3 or 4 games or whatever. They held their own against the Utah Jazz with just Jalen Brunson. So he was going toe-to-toe with Donovan Mitchell. Then the second round, they came back and beat the Phoenix Suns. This dude didn't back down from Devin Booker. He was giving Devin Booker 25, close to 25 a game.
What do you say to those who say that Devin Booker cooked him though?
Man, they gotta watch the footage, man. They gotta. Him and Devin Booker was going at it, and even when he went, in Western Conference Finals, he's more than well prepared because he went against Steph and Clay.
Right.
So, and then you gotta remember his first 2 years of being in the league. Those series going against Kawhi Leonard and Paul George,
Right.
and Reggie Jackson, those guys. So he's a well-groomed player. He's averaging 16 points on 50% shooting from the field with a low usage rate. This is a guy that you could give the ball and get out the way. Luka trusts this guy. As good as talented as Luka is, that's his Batman. It's like a Batman and Robin. So it's like you want to take this guy and give this guy the keys to your organization, man. I feel like his development, when you look at his stats year by year, I'll compare his overall growth to Kawhi Leonard.
To Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah.
Okay. So you think bringing Brunson to the Knicks would give more touches for RJ Barrett?
I do think it would. Would it give more touches to RJ?
Where RJ Barrett be able to get?
Yes, I think he would have just as many touches as he does now. Because right now, when you look at these the point guard situation that was so scattered around, you had Kemba quickly, then you have Alec Burks playing point guard from time to time. So you had a whole rotation of guys that were taking buckets away from RJ and disturbing his rhythm. But I give my credit to RJ for staying consistent. You know,
Give your credit for RJ.
Yeah, for staying consistent, even though he was, trying to function in an unstable rotation.
Okay, all right. Now I know you heard about Mitch, man. Mitch is an unrestricted free agent.
Yeah.
Knicks offering 55 over 4 years.
Right.
Some say Mitch is worth more, and that you're underpaying Mitch, and he might walk when you got somebody like Detroit Pistons, who's offering 65, 10 million more.
Okay.
Think Mitch gonna walk?
I think Mitch. I think he should walk. I don't think that he is. I don't think he's a center that should be invested in. Man, I don't like Mitch's game. I've always been.
Oh
adamant
man,
about
what
that.
you don't like about Mitch's game, man?
What I don't like about Mitch's game is that
Gotta back
he's
that
only
up.
a lob threat, man. He's very inconsistent. He's not healthy. Mitch is him and Nerlens Noel, man. The two guys. The reason why I like Noel better is because when you look at that run that he had in Oklahoma City, people sleep on that run. He was very healthy. He was available for Chris Paul. People forgot that pick and roll that Nerlens Noel had with Chris Paul, that was a good thing for OKC. About 2 years back or so, about a year or two back.
Yeah. But what have he done for the Knicks, man, when we speak of that?
Yeah, man. The first season they were the fourth seed. I think the fourth or fifth seed in the Eastern Conference. He played some solid minutes. He played the majority of the season. He played some big minutes in the playoffs against Atlanta. And man, Mitch Robinson, man, I haven't seen too much from Mitch. He's always more of a regular season guy for me. When it comes down to it, I'm gonna pick Noel. Noel's been in the playoffs,
So you big on Noel because you feel he got more upscale postseason experience.
And he's cheaper. You don't want to sign a guy like Mitch when you see where his ceiling is. You know at most that this guy's a 10-point, 10 rebound guy. And at best Noel is the same thing as well. And just as good as your shot blocker.
Now you know how my Nickavellians get in the comments, man. You the same person that said you would get Tyrese Halliburton
over Obi Toppin.
Hey, they went crazy.
Yeah.
Now you say Now you saying about Mitchell Robinson being inferior to that of a Noel.
Yes.
All right.
Only because Noel he's a veteran, man. He still got a lot left in the tank, and his ceiling is higher. His ceiling is more of a high risk reward, I would say.
Okay. Now let me ask you this, brother. Do you like the
That's a
chemistry?
low risk, high reward.
Let me ask you this. Do you like the chemistry between Obi and Emmanuel quickly?
Yes, I do like their chemistry, but I feel like if the Knicks are going to make those power moves that they so desperately see, like you got players seeking signing trades. You got Kyrie Irving. You got these players that's available. Bradley Beal, Zach LaVine. They say the Knicks keep saying that they want to go make this big move, but I feel like they're selling their fans a dream basically, because if your plan is to draft and build around your guys like RJ, Randall, you want to build around a young core and not really buy your team.
So you think that's what the Knicks is doing, buying the team instead of developing the team?
Yes, I think that that's exactly what they're doing. They're trying to buy a team instead of develop a team. And what's happening is that they're not attracting those big names that's in the market. So they're settled. They always have to settle for what they can get. They couldn't get KD and Kyrie, so they went and got Randall and Noel and Randall and Reggie Bullock. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So I feel like this summer is the same. They can't get Zach LaVine or Bradley Beal, so they'll probably take somebody like Hassan Whiteside or you get what I'm saying, or Kyle Lowry.
Now I want to talk about Kemba Walker, man. Did Kemba Walker get the short end of the stick, man? Because Kemba Walker's not on the Knicks no more. They traded him. And some say they used Kemba Walker to try to attract a player like Jalen Brunson. That's the only reason why they brought Kemba. How do you feel about that?
I think that it's actually good that we did have Kemba and traded him away to clear that cap space. I feel like if we clear as much cap space as possible,
Which we got 13 million so far.
yeah, which is nice. You know, you could get you a decent player. I would say like a Jordan Poole. Because you got these up and coming guys that the Knicks really should be looking at. That's on their way. You should start looking at guys like James Wiseman and on Jordan Poole, Jalen Brunson, because the future is here. These guys are young, talented, and they got plenty of left in the tank for years to come that you could build around.
All right, my man, that's what it is, man. My man L Trey, show some love, y'all.
But yes, man, Knicks fans, man, they need to be sold on this guy, Jalen Brunson, man. This guy's the real deal, man. Jalen Brunson is the real deal.
And that's what it is. We out. Peace.